Hey guys, so I decided about a month ago that I was going to experiment with the trend that's been continuing to increase, which is called the No-Poo method, which basically, for those of you that don't know, it can mean a few different things, but first and foremost, you stop using shampoos, especially with sulfates, and all that stuff that makes your hair lather. Basically, what it's doing is it's stripping all the oils out of your hair and making your hair out of balance and overproduce oil, and therefore you become dependent on shampoo because you have to wash every day because your hair looks gross. And that's not the way that our hair was intended to react, how our scalp was intended to react. Obviously, for thousands and thousands of years, we've not been using shampoo, and up until I think it's like I don't even know when we started using shampoos. I think I read it was like the 50s or something like that, where it became really super popular and people went from barely ever washing their hair to washing their hair every day. And so with No-Poo, you go away from using shampoo, from conditioner, and you can there are a bunch of different methods that you can use to wash your hair. And so I have been doing a bunch of research online, different methods, and I'll tell you about which ones that I have tried so far. I'm only at 3.5 weeks of No-Poo, and my hair is not at the most exciting part of the No-Poo journey, so I figured this would actually be a good time to start talking about it, as I am in the middle of the evil transition phase. Everybody loves the transition phase from what I've read, so I am in the midst of that. I am a newbie to the No-Poo fan club, I guess you could say. So basically, a little bit of history on my hair. I'm not going to go too far back just because it's kind of boring. But basically, the most recent stuff that's been done to my hair was the first week in September, which is when I started doing research on No-Poo, is I had my hair re-bleached. It had been bleached previously and had to be re-bleached again because the previous job, kind of long story short, just left my hair with some indicating markers as to where my previous hair color was, so it needed to be kind of evened out and different colors put in. So basically, my hair has been bleached twice, although they did use Olaplex. For those of you that don't know what it is, you should do research on it. It's really great for those of you that are looking into having some crazy colors done on your hair. It basically strengthens your hair to be able to be pushed farther and be able to withstand more damaging processes like bleach and still not have your hair fall out, which is really great. So anyway, my hair feels pretty darn healthy. It doesn't feel like it's been bleached, which is really good. I'm excited about that. But I decided to do these videos even though I'm not a great like YouTube personality, because I haven't been able to find very much stuff on people with vivid hair colors like mine, who are also doing No-Poo. I've been able to find a little bit, but not as thorough or well done as some of the others who either never dye their hair or like they like the henna dye. I don't know a whole lot about the No-Poo world or about people who are into all things related to going back to way more natural products and in all aspects of their life. I'm just not that knowledgeable yet, so bear with me and feel free to help me out in the comments and whatnot to let me know ways that you have found to be helpful in stuff with crazy hair color that I don't know. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about the processes that I've been using so far with No-Poo, because in my initial research I found baking soda and apple cider vinegar seems to be the most common No-Poo method, but I watched some videos and saw that baking soda can be very damaging, and because my hair has already been damaged, I'm trying to shy away from that as much as possible because I don't want to ruin my hair color, especially because I spent quite a bit of money on getting it done. But since then, I have found I'm actually going to start experimenting with the baking soda method, just because I read enough on it that I saw that the reason why there were people who had bad experiences with baking soda was because they were either using too much or using it too often, or not listening to what their hair was saying and being like, you need to use less of this stuff, or whatever it is, that in moderation baking soda can be really great. And especially because my hair is so oily naturally, I am starting to get a little bit more interested in having that help me with my transition period, because I don't like having my hair look oily. And I'm trying to stay away from dry shampoo as much as possible, although it has helped to extend my hair to not be washed as much. I use Batiste dry shampoo. I forgot to grab that to show people. But yeah, so I use Batiste dry shampoo, and that has been the best dry shampoo that I've found. I've tried probably 5 different types of dry shampoo, maybe more. I'm kind of a researcher, so I did a ton of research on dry shampoos after kind of finding some that didn't work super great, and that has definitely worked the best. So getting to the processes that I have been using, I decided to try out the honey and water mixture, where I use, here's some little, I travel a ton for work, probably about 2 weeks out of the month I'm generally gone, and so this might also be helpful for people who travel and kind of learn from my mistakes and see what works and see what doesn't. So these are my little bottles of honey water mixture. So basically it's a ratio of 1 tablespoon of honey to 3 tablespoons of water. And basically what I do is, when I get in the shower, I wet my hair with cold water. Everything that I do is with cold water, because when you have hair color like I do, they recommend that you never wash with warm water or hot water. I don't know if that's good or bad as far as the No-Poo method goes, but that's just what I've been doing so far. I'll keep you updated if that ever changes. So I rinse my hair with cold water, and then I basically just take it and squirt it out a little bit at a time, getting it around on my scalp. For each wash, I go through one of these. This is 3 ounces, so I go through 3 ounces every time I wash my hair. Maybe later I'll let you guys know what exactly it is that I'm using, since I don't have my big jug of honey. Basically, it's like raw natural honey. It's not like normal honey like out of a squeeze bottle, but I'll update you on that later, exactly what kind of honey it is. But yeah, so I just mix it into my hair, massage it into my scalp, and then I rinse it out. And then so this is the No-Poo conditioner. It is I think it's 8 ounces of water and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And so I have found that this is really helpful. I read somewhere on the No-Poo Facebook page, which I can link to you because it's really super awesome about answering questions and stuff like that. But I found the spray bottle method to actually work really well for me and to be easier to travel with. I just spray it all over my hair, all over, generous amounts. Usually this lasts me, so far it's lasted me about 5 showers, I guess is usually what it is, 5 washings. Although with my travels so far, I will mention that this is the first time I've traveled with this bottle, I think. Yes, yeah, this is the first time, because this is my first really long trip. And usually I've only been washing my hair with this stuff like every 4 or 5 days. So first trip, it has kind of opened up a little bit. What I did is I put a plastic bag around it and like a hair tie around here, but it did leak out. It did get a little bit in my suitcase, but it's in like a separate compartment, so it didn't get like all over my clothes. But good, it doesn't stink. But yeah, so it did spill a little bit, even though this is one of those that you like twist to open it up, because there's the ones where you just like rotate you just flip the cap. It's like a square shape, but this is actually like you twist it to either have like a fine spray or like a direct spray. So yeah, anyway, seems to work pretty well. The honey method, I will say so far, I haven't had any negative effects as far as like it's not drying at all. It's tend to be used in a lot of like moisturizing conditioners and stuff like that. So it's definitely moisturizing, which is great, but it has not worked super great for oil. So it does seem to help some when I get out of the shower. I can definitely tell that it's been improved. That could just be because rinsing your hair and massaging your scalp and rinsing all that stuff out helps in general, but it hasn't been really great. So as I said, it's only been 3.5 weeks, so I don't have that much trial and error so far. But so honey method is okay. I like the way it smells. If you accidentally get some in your mouth, it tastes really great, which is awesome. Doesn't have any negative effects, but just doesn't seem to work super great as far as the transition period if you really don't want your hair to look oily at all, which is impossible, but at least you know that it's not going to help very much. Apple cider vinegar seems to work really well. I don't know how it is supposed to feel. My hair feels fine. It doesn't smell at all. I will say, important to note, my husband is very sensitive to hair smells especially, and I've been making sure to check in with him and be like, smell my hair. Does my hair smell gross? What does it smell like? And so far, he says it doesn't smell at all since I haven't been washing my hair with shampoo, which is great. And he says it doesn't really smell like anything, which is not super great because he kind of likes the product smell of, like, say, Garnier Fructis, which I actually have. I don't know if this is bad that I've been using it every once in a while. I hear some people say that if you use any stuff with silicones, that I think they said it can dry out your hair, which is confusing because this is like leave-in conditioning cream. So as I said, I'm new. You could write me and be like, please stop using that. That's ruining everything you're trying to do. But it smells so good. And so I'd like to maybe find something that smells as good as this does, or I don't know. I just ordered some lavender essential oils. So I'm planning on using that to put in my hair and see how that smells and if I like it. I've never been a huge lavender scented person, but maybe I'll like it. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing for 3.5 weeks. I also have tried the egg method twice. Once with 2 eggs mixed in with some water, 2 whole eggs, and found that got rid of the grease really well. Probably got rid of, and my hair was really greasy when I did it. I hadn't even been rinsing it because I'm trying to make it so that my transition period is shorter. So I would say that I had 5 days of oil on it, not even rinsing it, and it got rid of probably 85% of the oil, which was really great. But I will note, this is important, I noticed that as I was putting the egg in my hair, my color started coming out. Like usually if I just rinse my hair, the water's pretty clear. When I put the egg on, I don't know why, you guys can tell me why, but the color like started dumping off of my head, and so I kind of started freaking out. And usually you're supposed to leave it on for at least like 5 minutes, so this may be why I didn't get 100% grease out, because I didn't leave it in for very long, because I'm like, if I try this egg method and it completely like strips out my hair color or it makes it look really dull, I'm going to be really frustrated. So yeah, the hair color started just running down all over me. It was really messy, really not an exciting experiment. But I didn't notice after I dried it that it looked a lot more dull, so I'm not sure where the dye was coming from, but I didn't notice a huge difference. Like those of you that have hair color like this, every time that you wash your hair with, say, a normal shampoo, even if it doesn't have sulfates in it, you usually notice that your hair is quite a bit more, a lot less vibrant. So So yeah, so my hair looked fine. It felt pretty good. Um, it got rid of a ton of the grease, which is my biggest thing that I wanted to get done. So then I tried it again. This like at this point, I think it was 3 days ago. I did the egg treatment again, though this time I didn't use. I only used one egg white, and the other one was just the yolk. And yeah, so then I mix it in. I also put a little bit of honey in. The same thing happened with like hair color, just like pouring out, and I was feeling really anxious, but I'm like, last time I didn't notice that it really made my hair dull or took out a ton of color, so I'm just gonna let it sit. So I let it sit for probably 10 minutes in my hair, and then I rinsed it out, and then with cold water. So they will say don't cook the egg on your head, although even though I used cold water, I still, after my hair was drying, I noticed that there were a couple bits of egg in my hair still, even though I rinsed it very well. So it's hard to get it perfect, get all of it out, but it's the egg rinse I found to be really super helpful with getting all it out. And this last time made my hair feel super soft, took out pretty much all of the grease, left my hair with a nice texture, didn't dry it out too much. So that was good. And so I have noticed in this transition, though, that there have been some times where my ends especially have felt pretty dry. And I had there was like one evening when I was coming back and traveling that my bangs felt like really super dry. And sometimes I'll use a straightener on them, so I don't know if they're even, I mean, I know that would make them more damaged, but I don't know how that really affects the hair, because it feels just the same as the rest of my hair, but it started to feel like pretty dry and brittle. And so I did some emergency research, was trying not to freak out, and found that aloe vera gel is a really good way to put moisture in your hair without making it look greasy or weigh it down, because it fully absorbs into your hair. I don't know why, but I started using that, and I've actually found that to really help. So this is kind of the stuff that I've been using. It's pretty old. I don't know if it expires, because like before I did No-Poo, like I never used aloe because I don't get sunburn. I try and be careful, but yeah, so I just use that. I just take out a glob of it and add it wherever I feel like I need it in my hair. Other thing I use is coconut oil, as everyone knows. You get it is unrefined. Make sure that you get unrefined coconut oil. It does not have to be this brand, but what I do is usually I found it to be the quickest to put it in the microwave for like 10 to 15 seconds, and then, because it doesn't have to get very warm, and then I just take out a tiny bit and just put it generally at my ends. They say that with No-Poo method, you shouldn't put it all over your head unless you're going to be able to use something like egg that can take out that oil, because most things in the No-Poo method cannot take out coconut oil, so your hair will feel really super greasy and look wet and not be super great. Well, it'll be really moisturized, but it won't look very good until you can get that out. But I just put a tiny bit in my hair where I feel that it needs it. And I also, once again, don't know if this is a bad thing, but this is a really great rated product. It's the 10 leave-in stuff. And if my hair is feeling like it needs more moisture or more strength, which it kind of has in these 3.5 weeks, it's kind of felt almost more fine than usual. Right now it feels really good and really healthy, but say like before I did my egg method, it just kind of felt I don't know, not brittle, but just kind of fragile feeling, just kind of like soft and fine, but kind of in a, I feel like I'm gonna tear out my hair accidentally sort of way. Haven't torn out my hair, none of that stuff, but it's just kind of felt that way. So I've put in some of this stuff. Don't know if that's bad, but so far it seems okay to me. So yeah, so I would say so far with the No-Poo method, haven't been doing it very long, so I don't know exactly what it's going to be doing for my hair, but some things that I have noticed is that my hair is already getting greasier less quickly. So that's really awesome. And I've also noticed like it's starting to feel softer and starting to have like more texture, which is nice, like in a good way, like not lying flat on my head, because that's kind of how my hair has been for years of using shampoo, is that like my hair is always just, unless I'm having a really good hair day, my hair just kind of lies flat. It never does what I want it to do. Like my hair is just one of those types of hair that other people will play with it and be like, oh my goodness, my hair will not go the way I want it to go, or you have these weird like cowlicks, or I'm trying to braid it and it's not going in a braid or whatever. And I'm like, I told you, like my hair never obeys people at all. So, yeah, so I have noticed that it is definitely headed in a good direction. I would highly recommend that you do your research. Everyone's going to say the same thing, that the No-Poo method is different for every single person. You cannot say, oh, that worked for you to have 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 8 ounces of water, and that's going to work for my hair. Like, it may not. You may need half a tablespoon. You may need 2 tablespoons as the weather changes. For me, it's going to be hard because I travel around the country all the time, and so my hair, I'm not sure, ever goes through seasons. It's just always going crazy and not sure what's going on. Different types of water, so I know that hard water can be an issue with doing some of the No-Poo methods, so I'm not sure if each hotel has different types of water, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so do your research, and I'll update you guys hopefully in the next couple of weeks to see where I'm at with the No-Poo. I have a shampoo bar that just got in the mail, but I don't get home until next week, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to try that out, see how it does with the hair color, see if I like it. Yeah, see how that works. So that'll be great. And I also ordered jojoba oil, I think like a couple of other oils, I think like rose hip. I don't know. I did a bunch of research, found good products on Amazon. Amazon is like my favorite place in the whole world to see like product reviews and stuff. So did a bunch of research, so I have some more products coming, so I'll have to update you on how that works. I'm really excited about especially the oils, because I know that like with the way that my hair has been going, that like a lot of people, I'll have really greasy roots and then super dry ends. But because I've been on it with moisturizing and using the aloe and using the oils and stuff like that, you can't tell that my hair can sometimes be a frizzy mess. And also, forgot to mention, boar bristle brush, which if you do any research on No-Poo, you hear about that. I've been doing that as well. I haven't really been doing what's called scritching and preening, which is where you kind of like take your hair in sections and you take like you first massage your head, loosen up all the crap that's on your scalp, and then you take sections of your hair, and then you take the oil and you just bring it down the ends. Hey look, I'm getting some scritching and pruning done right now. Isn't that great? But I have been using the boar bristle brush, which is intended to distribute the oils throughout the ends of your hair. I hear it's really important. I have not been doing it, so I don't know how important it is, but I brush my hair. I've been trying to brush my hair a couple times a day, which is obnoxious because I hate brushing my hair. But that's been working, I guess. I have really oily hair, so I have a lot to share with all of my head. It's great. So I'll update you guys hopefully soon. Hopefully this is helpful for you. As I said, I haven't really seen anybody out there who's had like videos on their journey with No-Poo, with wanting to keep their vibrant hair. Like, I want to continue having beautiful unicorn or mermaid hair or superhero hair, whatever you want to call it. I want to continue down that path, so I know bleaching's not good for your hair, so I kind of want to balance that not being good for my hair to going to No-Poo, which apparently is really good for your hair, and the environment and all sorts of other things. So yeah, anyway, I'll keep you guys updated, hopefully. I travel a lot, so I might not be super on that, but we'll see. Yeah, okay. Just to add in, my hair is like this style and not looking super amazing because this is kind of like one of my transition styles that, as I said, like I travel a lot for work, and so this is really quick, and it's just like a little bun in the back because I think my hair in a ponytail looks kind of dorky from this angle. I don't know why. But so yeah, so I thought that it might be good to actually take my hair down so that you can kind of see what it looks like. It's not gonna look super great as far as like, oh, look at that, it just looks kind of ridiculous. But so this is kind of the health of my hair right now. As you can see, yeah, it's kind of greasy. You can see a little bit of grow out. I have heard that your hair grows a lot faster when you stop using shampoos and stuff, so I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, who doesn't want their hair to grow fast? But yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like. Sorry about my terrible skin. I don't even know. I'm too old for acne, but apparently you never grow out of acne, which is really great. But so yeah, so it actually doesn't feel too greasy. At least, or it feels kind of almost like a different kind of greasy, like a less dirty grease and more of like a textury grease, if that makes any sense. It just feels less gross, even if you still think it looks gross. It's not too bad. So this is kind of my hair down. I'll show you the back of my head, whatever that looks like. So this is me in transition period. It feels pretty good. It doesn't feel too dry on the ends. It feels a little bit like I might want to add a little bit more aloe or something like that, but it looks pretty good. It's as I said, it's getting kind of better texture, which is nice, and not just because of the grease, because I've had years of greasy texture experience, and this feels different. So as I continue down the journey, I'm kind of excited to see how this goes and how my hair changes. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. Bogey.